Hey, hello everyone. Myself Dr. Sonam Verma from Suresh Janvihar University. I will be discussing the topic of development screening today. So, what is development screening? And we will discuss about its features, its salient features, and also the details why it is important, as this developmental screening is the part of your neurological assessment. So, as everyone are of the upcoming semesters and you have completed your clinical subjects, and now the major part for a physiotherapist which comes is to take care of the patients, how to assess them, how to screen them, and also to come to a diagnosis that what has to be done. So, this developmental screening is a part of your neuro assessment, and not for the adult but especially for the pediatric cases, as the pediatric or the infant, they are in a stage of growing stage. So that is why we are talking about here the development screening. Development means the growing stage of a child, and screening means monitoring that child, his physical parameters, his emotional parameters, his social parameters, and all those things have to be calculated and come to a resultant that what is the status of the child. So the content which we will be discussing today in this session will be the introduction, that what is your can say what is your development screening, what do you mean by that, what is the principle of development, then what are the various goals, that means why are we doing this developmental assessment, and by doing this what can we achieve, then the different domains of development, then comes the assessment of development, then comes your screening test, then comes your definitive test, development quotient means what is the ratio of development of a particular parameter, then conclusion, and lastly we will be discussing the normal developmental milestones of this developmental screening. So development, basically it specifies the maturation of functions. So whatever the functions of the child is there, or you can say whatever the function, physiological function of a person is there, so those functions, physiological functions have to be matured. Like for example, when a child is small, or you can say is of young age, his eating habits are different. We can say he eats by chewing, or in the starting he does not eat any solid food. He will eat semi solid, like in a form of khichdi or dalia. But as he grows, the strength of his muscles in the mouth, they develop. So the function of his eating, or the function of the chewing action of the body, it is maturing and developing the function. So this is called as development, maturation of function. It is related to maturation and myelination of nervous system. So definitely, if a particular step, or a, you can say any program is being performed again and again, our nervous system, it gets feedback. Our myelinated nerve fibers, they get feedback, and they learn that process in the same way. Like if I give you the example of driving a car, in the starting you are very much aware, and you are anxious also that an accident doesn't occur, you don't hit anyone. So at that time you are little bit conscious, but slowly by the habit of practice, you are so much trained that while driving also you can talk on a mobile, you can text, or even you can think of something else. So this is called as maturation. This was, we were talking in the coordination also, that is the engram or the pattern of doing a particular task is being fitted in our brain by the help of myelination and maturation. and this indicates the acquisition of a variety of skills. Acquisition means adapting of different variety of skills for optimum functioning of the individual. The developmental assessment, it includes early identification of problems through screening and surveillance. So screening means monitoring or taking out the problem list, and you can say a kind of your survey, a survey which will bring a resultant, that what is the result which is being obtained by doing any assessment, and surveillance is kind of a survey. So these two things are being done on a patient of a neurological part, which includes developmental assessment, and it helps to get the early identification of any particular problem through screening and surveillance. Now the principles, what are the basic principles behind this developmental screening and development maturation? As everyone knows, the development, the growth of a person is a continuous process. It has started from conception. That means when a fertilized egg, it comes to a mother uterus and it gets implanted onto the uterus. That is called as a process of conception. So from the conception, growing into fetus, from the fetus, after delivery to a human being, to a child, infant, then it becomes a child, then it becomes a girl or a boy, you can say a teenage, then comes an adult age, then becomes you can say a youngster, then he will become an old age. All this is a continuous process. No one can stop this process. So development is a continuous process. Development is intimately related to the maturation of CNS. So indirectly, the maturation or your continuous this process, it is leading or helping the central nervous system. The sequence of development is identical in all the children, but the rate of development varies from child to child. So this is a good point. You must have seen in your neighborhood or even in your family, like if one child in the family is going according to the developmental milestone, like he crawls at a month of 6, he stands without support at the age of 1, or he starts, you can say, speaking in 1 and 1.5 year. His teeth comes in 1 or 1.5 year or 2 years. So this is a particular duration of a child, that is a standard duration that he will get all these things. It can be speaking, it can be babbling, it can be your gripping, it can be identifying his mother or father, identifying different people, or responding to people. These are different consequences. Now, all these sequences of development, they are not identical to every child. Some children can have a delayed speaking or a delayed speech. Some children can have a delayed in teeth, coming of the teeth. Some children can have a delay in walking or crawling. So the rate or the speed is slow in of the development. It is varying from children to children. In few children they develop at a very fast pace along with the normal criteria, and in few children the development is very slow, and they can be converted into any other disorders also, like cerebral palsy or muscular dystrophies. The process of development progresses in a cephalocaudal direction. The primitive reflexes have to be lost. Initial disorganized mass activity, it is replaced by specific and use fluctuations. So primitive reflexes are what? Primitive reflexes means the reflexes of the children. The otherwise they are called as neonatal reflexes. Neonatal reflexes. All these reflexes, the development of progression, it is from cephalocaudal direction. Cephalo means your head. and coming into downward direction, it is called as the caudal direction. So whatever the progress it is coming into our body, it is coming first in our head at the level of brain, and then it is going into downward direction and supplying to different parts. So what the development has to be done? The initial disorganized mass activity, it is replaced by specific and useful fluctuations. So sometimes few mass activities are being disorganized and they can be replaced by few modifications being done in the child's activities. The goal of developmental assessment, it is not only to generate a diagnosis but also to analyze the pattern of strength and weakness in order to direct treatment. So the goal of developmental assessment will be not only to generate a diagnosis, that is, the diagnosis means coming to a, you can say, resultant, or coming to a result, that what is the proper problem to a patient and what treatment has to be given. So this is not a diagnostic point of view, this is for an assessment, for the analyzation, so that the pattern or the problem list which are coming into the developmental milestone or assessment, they can be worked upon, and in most of the cases the strengthening and weakness has to be treated in order for direct treatment. Indications of developmental assessment. Now, when can you give a developmental assessment to a patient, or you can say a child? So, first is follow up of high risk neonates for early detection of cerebral palsy, or add, you can add a mental retardation, or it can be there also, or it can be absent also. So, high risk neonates. High risk neonates are those, neonate means the child who is newly born. Today the delivery has been done. Okay, from today till 1 week or at least 1 month, the child will be called as neonate. That is why the ICU or the intensive care units in the hospital, where those children which are just delivered and they are at a risk, they are being taken to a NICU. That is called as neonatal ICU. So those mothers who are already at risk, like if the pregnant lady is having thyroid, she can have a diabetes, or even she can have a, you can say, prolonged labor pain, that is during the process of delivery, the pain is occurring for a longer duration. So prolonged duration, and if it is a breech delivery is a malalignment, that is, in a normal delivery, first the head of the baby comes and then complete body comes. But in the breech delivery, the body comes first and the head will be coming at the last. So any complications can come. That is a high risk. Second is the improper position of the cord, because the child in the mother, it is connected with the placenta. It is a bag like structure. It is a bag like structure that is filled up of amniotic fluid, and that bag like structure, it is giving nutrition from the mother to the child. Okay, so sometimes that cord, it is being around, it is being, you can say, stuck around the child neck, and that is a high risk. So at that case, the doctor, most of the gynecologists, they go for the cesarean section, that is, the delivery is being done by operation. The complete evaluation of children with developmental, chromosomal, or neurological disorder. So that complete evaluation of the children is being done with the developmental part. Developmental means how the body parts are growing, and you can see the skin texture, height, circumference, head circumference, then the facial structure, the tongue, the teeth. Second is the chromosomal level, so those can be done by the genetic counselor. And of the neurological disorders, this will be a resultant part that can a physio can be doing, or also a neuro physician can also do for finding out any neurological disorder. To differentiate the children, with retardation in specific field of development as opposed to those with global retardation. So this also help us to differentiate between the children who is having a particular retardation or who is just opposite to it. It is a global retardation or it can be a specific retardation. Now the factors which are affecting the development. There are different factors which will be affecting the development. So first is the genetic factor. First is a genetic factor. Genetic factor means the when the child is grown, the fertilization occurs. So at that time, the chromosomes of both from the mother side and from the father side, they come together and their distribution occurs. So by the dominancy, it can be known that that is a boy or a child. So if a girl is there, there will be two XX chromosome, and if it is a boy, then we will have sorry, if it is a boy, it is XX, and if it is a girl, then we will have a XY. So by looking over this, we can see the genetic factors like chromosomal level, the gene level, is there any mutation, is there any chromosomal recessive, or is there any extra chromosome, or you can say any abnormal chromosome. Then second is your neonatal. Neonatal, as just I have told you, the neonates are the ones which are of age group of 0, that is from the day 1 till 30 days or 25 days, we call it as neonates. So the genetic factor, they can be brought about or they can be controlled by the maternal factors. The neonatal factors, they are IUGR, prematurity or perinatal asphyxia. Prematurity means the child has taken birth before the time of delivery, before 9 months, before 8 months. So that is called as premature child. Then we have perinatal asphyxia. Perinatal asphyxia means the child who is getting delivered. So that particular stage of delivery, when the child is coming out, so at that time, is there any asphyxia or loss of oxygen, or difficulty in breathing to the child or not? The third factor is the psychosocial. Psychosocial means the psychological perspective from the society. Society can be a family, can be mother, parents, then your relatives, friends. All those are your coming into the category of society. So for psychosocial part, parenting is very much affecting the development. So you must have seen nowadays the children, they are not as much attached to their parents because parents are busy in their office work, on their laptops, and even in their mobile phones. And if the child has also been provided with a mobile phone, then he will also go into his own world. So there is a communication gap between the child and the parents. So the parents are the most important factor which is affecting the development. Second is poverty. Poverty means those people who doesn't have enough money to purchase even food. They are doing the begging job. They are becoming beggars. They are just asking for money and not utilizing that money in a particular good way. The lack of stimulation. Lack of stimulation means the lack of feedback coming from outside to the body at a psychosocial level. Violence and abuse, maternal depression, institutional means the child, like for example, the child is going to a school, or like you are coming into the institute or the university. If at this level you are not getting good cooperation, you are not getting good education, and you are not satisfied, then there will be a decrease or there will be a affection in your mental status. So this is what these are the different points, that is parenting, poverty, lack of stimulation, violence and abuse, maternal depression and institutionals. Then last one we will be having post neonatal. Post neonatal means after the child has been grown and after the woman has given delivery to the child. Infant and child nutrition is a topic which has to be covered by a physio or by a gynec for counseling, so that these factors cannot affect the development. Iron deficiency. Iron deficiency, so for this counseling has to be made to a mother. Then iodine deficiency, same, you have to ask for mother to be counseled and give the proper treatment at a home based or from the medical or the pharmaceutics. Then we have infectious disease. Infectious disease means related to any bacterial infection, viral infection, protozoal, any microorganism which is entering the body and coming out, which is entering into the body, and it is affecting the person. His total physiological system is affected. He will become weak, he will become fatigued. All these things will be the post neonatal part. So what will be the protective part? So these are the factors which are affecting, which are giving the negative feedback or the negative points of the development. But what is the positive? So if all these factors are given, so what can be done for its protection? It would be a breastfeeding at the neonatal level. It may be maternal education, because the education of the mother is so important, because if she will not know about her health, her situation, then she will not be able to give birth to the healthy child. Next is the domains of development. Domains of development, we have the gross motor. Gross motor means the movement over your larger joints which are responsible for weight bearing. Second is the fine motor. Fine motor is your, you can say, the muscles which are present on your tips, fingers, distal part, your foot, tarsals, metatarsals, your hand, your thumb, your all fingers, index finger, your you can say ring finger, your metacarpals, all these are fine motor. Then you will give the domain as personal and social. So as which we ask, like we can ask you questions related to personal questions like your way of conceiving, or you can also the way of delivery, the how much time you spend with your child, how much time the child spends with you or in front of TV. At the social level, what is the social behavior of the child and the mother? Is she comfortable everywhere or not? Language, does he able to speak? Is if he is able to speak, does he able to speak the familiar words, or if he is speaking the familiar words, then does he recognize or does he utters calls all his relatives or all his grandparents or all his uh, brothers and sisters. Then vision, is patient able to see proper with the proper vision. Hearing, is the patient or the child able to hear properly? So this was the introduction of developmental assessment. Next will be the developmental assessment. So in the procedure, the developmental milestone, they serve as an important basis of most standardized assessment and screening tools. The two separate developmental assessment over the time are more productive than a single one. So here what the slide is telling you or want to say, that the development milestones, they are the important part which is to be measured or to be assessed as soon as possible. And two separate developmental assessments are being used from time to time. Developmental history, now in every patient we take the history. So what the history will be taken by a child, because child will not able to speak, so The history can be taken by the mother. Whether parents are concerned or not, this has to be asked by the patient. Does they love their child or the girl, or just they are doing it for formality, just they are completing their duty? Is there any attachment between the parent and the child or not? Right questions. What right questions can be given specific to that case? Age specific questions can be asked. Check the doubtful rely. Doubtful rely means if the patient is having different doubts, then it's your duty to complete or to cover up their whole doubts. Check the answers about one milestone by another and by examination. So after this complete many things being asked by the child or the mother, after all the answers about any one milestone, another and by examination can be used. Then family history, social history. Family history like first, second and third degree relative. Does anyone have any similar issue or any problem? Social history, capacity to cope with a child with disability. Prerequisitions or prerequisites that should be done in a place free from distraction. So all these screening tests should be done in such a cabin or in such an area that it should have most of the walls clean, most of the, you can say, many equipment should not be visible, because that will create distraction in the patient. The child should not be hungry. If the child will be hungry or tired, then he will not cooperate in the screening. So the child should be not hungry and he should not be tired. Playful mood with mother around. So at this time the child should be playful. He should be, you can say, in a very friendly manner. He should be in a happy manner, so that he can play, run around, and his assessment can be taken at the same time. Adequate time to time child and family is comfortable. So time to time make the child and his family comfortable, and you should let him know that the screening method will take some time, but if the screening is being known there, half of or maximum of half of the prognosis is being completed. Then carry a development kit along with you if you are, you can say, assessing a patient for your assessment for patient to be seen or to write a report. Assessment of normal development, that is preschool age. Play, climbing, stairs, speech, feeding, performance, understanding the matching color, comprehension of the language. All these has to be taken care when you check a patient who is going in a preschool area. That means not from the first, from the nursery, KG, upper KG, lower KG, all these at this stage you can check for his preschool behavior or age. That is that age good for that child to be entered in that class, or is the age of the child it is not up to that, and the course is so much the patient or the child will not be able to study so much. So that is the preschool assessment. You can do it by playing, by climbing the stairs, by speaking or speaking, and by feeding or performance. School age. Test for reading arithmetic. Now school age is what? When the child goes to the school and he learns and the teachers teaches him. The school age, the test for reading, arithmetic function, test for deafness and physical examination, vision by 3 to 5 years of age, intelligence assessment. Now, equipments which are being required for developmental screening, it should be a 10 1-inch cube. It should be a cube. Everyone must have seen the cube, like ice cubes, which we freeze in the deep freeze. So that is also a cube-like structure. So 10 1-inch cubes are being required. Then the handbell, then the simple form board, Goddard form board, colored and uncolored you can say geometric forms, picture cards, cards with the circle, across, square, triangle and diamond drawn on them. Patelar hammer, then we have papers, pellets of the size of 8 mm. Physical examination, the general examination, what we do in physical examination, first check for the weight, check for the height and head circumference. Now you can calculate, if you have done, then you can calculate your own BMI. The circumference has to be covered, the malnutrition, the pallor color, rickets, and dysmorphic facies. Systemic examination includes the examination of your central nervous system, especially bones and joints. They are being under the control of deformities and contractures. Neuromuscular examina, it is in infants which is seen tone, the deep tendon reflex, primitive reflex and the postural reflex. On these things they will be working during nursing rehabilitation or the muscular examination. Neurological examination, we have Amiel-Thiessen angle. It is first is present in the heel touch. Second is uh, the adductor angle. Amiel-Thiessen angle is basically working on the neurological part. So here the adductor angle can be seen. The adductor angle is the angle when you do or abduct your hip joint. So from the midline, that angle can be measured. That is called as adductor angle. Heel to ear, popliteal angle, dorsiflexion angle of foot, and scarf sign. So in this diagram, you can see this is a adductor angle. Neurological assessment, according to this, we say if the angles, adductor angle at an age of 1 to 3 months, the angle will be 40 degree to 80 degrees. If the child age is 4 to 6 months, then it is 70 to 110 degrees. If the child is 7 to 9 months, then 100 to 150 degrees. And 10 to 12 months, it will be 130 to 150 degrees. Heel to ear. Heel to ear, we will see in the age of 1 to 3 months, it is 80 to 100. In 4 to 6, 90 to 130. In 7 to 9, 120 to 150. 10 to 12, 140 to 170. Popliteal, again you can see 1 to 3 months, 80 to 100, 4 to 6, 90 to 130. Then you can say popliteal, it is 90 to 130, dorsiflexion is 45, and scarf sign is elbow crosses the midline. Then 7 to 9 months, scarf sign will be same, elbow reaches the axilla, dorsiflexion will be 45 degree, popliteal will be 120 to 150, heel to ear it will be 120 to 150, then adductor it will be 100 to 150. It is for 7 to 9 months of age group. Then for the children with age of 10 to 12 months, then it will be adductor angle, it will be 130 to 150. Heel to ear, it will be 140 to 170. Popliteal, it will be 140 to 170. Dorsiflexion, same 45. Scarf sign, elbow will be go beyond the axilla. Now the development of all the gross motor development. The gross motor means the development of our muscular system, working on the strength, working on the coordination and working on the gait patterns. So the acquisition of the gross motor skills, it is preceded by the development of fine motor skills. Both the process they occur in cephalocaudal direction. Similarly to your assessment which we have seen in the first slide, head it is controlled preceding the arm and the hand control, followed by the leg and the foot control. Now these are the various gross motor developmental milestones. So at the left side there are the age. There is like in addition here, and the neck holding. At a age of, you can say, 1 month, you will have the child holding his neck. 1 to 2 months, they lift up his neck, and you can see the child can hold his neck for a particular time. Then there will be the rollovers. If the child you have kept in a supine, the child can roll towards his left or towards his right. Then at the age of 6 months or 4 to 6 months, you will have rollovers, sit on the tripod fashion. Sit on a tripod fashion. Then you will have sitting without support. Then you will have standing with support. At the age of 2 months, child starts creeping. Creeping means rengna. It starts creeping well, walks but falls, stands without the support. At the age of 5 months, walks alone, creeps upstairs also. The child can go upstairs by creeping. 8 months, runs, explores drawers. Then at the age of 1 year, he walks up and downstairs, jumps. Then 3 years, rides a tricycle or alternate feet going upstairs. Then at the age of 4, hops on one foot. On a single leg, he can hop or jump and alternate feet going downstairs. Fine motor for the developments like age. At the age of 4 months, the child will be bidextrous reach. Bidextrous reach means two things can be handled at a same time. 6 months, unidextrous reach transfer object. Now the child, it is not holding two things in his hand. He can easily able to hold by his one hand, and he can just transfer from one hand to other hand. 9 months, immature pincer grab. Pincer grab is this, when you hold a pen or a key. So this pincer grab is immature. It is not properly developed. Probes with 4 fingers are being used nowadays. At a 12 months, pincer grasp matures. At a 12 months, the pincer grasp, it will be maturing. 15 months, imitate the scribbling tower of 2 blocks. So the child, he imitate means nakal utana by scribbling. He will try to see if there is a written apple on his block. He will try to copy that. And even till the tower of 2 blocks he can make easily. For the 18 months, he will scribble by pen or pencil, and he can make the tower of 3 blocks. Then you will have 2 years. 2 years will be the tower of 6 blocks, vertical and circular stroke. At age of 3 years, the tower of 9 blocks. So the child can keep 9 blocks one over the other and can make a good big tower. And he also can copy a circle also by making his hand. Then at the age of 4 years, he will copy your activities along with bridge with the blocks. 5 year, he will copy a triangle. So first child is scribbling, then he can make imitate the scribbling, then he can make the circular stroke, and then he can make your other strokes with the cursive or triangular. Triangle can also be drawn by the child at age of 5. So this is how a block test and a pencil test can be done, useful for a child. So at the age of 3 or 3.5 years, if the patient is of this age, you can check for his block a bridge. So here 2 blocks are kept, and over this one block, another block is kept by making a bridge over it. So if this can be done, or either pencil test to draw a circle. In 3.5 to 4 years, there is no block test. We can use pencil test by making a cross sign or a plus sign. 3 to 4.5 years, again we'll be asking the child to make a block test or to do a block test. So you will build a gate. So if these two blocks are stable, another block it will be in a diagonal pattern, he will become a gate like structure. Then a patient, the child is able to draw a square. In 5 to 6 years, patient will build the steps, draw a triangle. Now, play and social interaction. Now, what are the various needs? What are the need basically behind the play and social interaction? Because according to the observation which we have explored, that the free playing, that whatever the child wants to play, let him play, and initiate the process of response to social games like peekaboo, like the children in a group, they together they play different games. Note the initiative, reaction or interaction, and responding to parent, examiner, other children, and use of eye contact and gestures. These are the social and the adaptive milestones. So social milestone means how the child is behaving to the other people. The first is at a 2 months, the child social smiles come. That means social smile means if the another person is smiling at the child, then the child will also smile towards him. That is social smile. Then we have at the age of 3 months, recognizes the mother, anticipates feeding. So 3 months mein the child is able to recognize his mother and he can ask for his feed, that he is hungry or not. At the age of 6 months, the child recognizes the strange person or a stranger, anxiety can be there. In 9 months, the child waves the bye bye. If you say bye bye to the child, then he will also respond to you by doing bye bye. At the age of 12 months, comes when called, plays simple ball game like ball and bat can be played by the child. At the age of 15 months, jargon playing can be done like in a group, you can say making different blocks. 18 months, copies parents in the task. Now, whatever the parents are doing in front of the child will copy, and that is around 18 months. At the age of 18 months, so whatever, like if the mother is doing makeup, the girl, the child will also learn how to do makeup, or the child will also try if the thing is available to that child. Then 2 years, the child will ask for food. He will ask for food, that I want this, I am hungry, and maybe he is really hungry or not. The child asks for food or a particular choice. Drink, toilet, pulls people to show toys. At the age of 3 years, he will share the toys. He will know the full name and the gender. Then at the age of 4, he'll play cooperatively in a group, goes to toilet alone. Then at the age of 5 years, the child will help in the household task to the mother or to the father or even the grandparents. The language and communication, to for this, observe the vocalization and the gestures of the child, how they are attracting others, creating attention, seeking the attention, to indicate the needs in response to other vocalization, and to share emotions. Note the speech quality, that what is the speech quality, are they speaking the clear speech or not, use of language to express, and responding to conversations. So this is our speech and a language development schedule which we can see here. So by the 6 months, the child vocalize by babbling, ba 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 ba. He can vocalize or speak like this, cooing and laughing. Respond to voices without visual cues. And by the age of 1, he will be able to say one or more words like papa, or you can say mama pani, papa pani, papa घूमने, papa any object. Okay, so two words can be spoken, able to understand and simple instructions. He can also able to respond to their names also, like if you call the child name like you can say Advait, so he will look at you and then he'll again going busy in his work. So at least he is uh, mature enough so that he can recognize his name, that somebody is has spoken his name, and he will see or he will respond. By the age of 2 he will have vocabulary of 50 words, means around 50 words will be there in his mind, and he will use those words very frequently. He will combine two simple words sentences also, like mama pani chahiye या फिर mama खाना खाना है या फिर ममा खाना, ऐसे like these words can be used in the form of sentences. The child can follow one step instructions, have 50% of what they say understood. By the age of 3 he can combine 3 or more words sentences, improve the comprehension, have 75 to 90% of what they say understood. Hearing development, the Bera hearing test is being performed to check that the child is able to hear or not. Ability to hear correlates with the ability to pronounce the word properly. So ask about the history of otitis media also by the mother and the father if you are taking the history of the child. Repeat the hearing screening test. Speech therapist is there if there is a requirement of it, they can go for it. This is an orientation to the sound of bell. This was given by Johnson, CP et al. Pediatrics in review. This test was being performed in the children, and in like at the starting in the figure A, the bell is ringing, child is not responding. At the age of 5 months, bell is ringing, but child is not exactly looking towards the bell. He is doing left and right rotations. Then at the age of 7 months, the bell will ring, he will go first like this, then he will go like this. First he will search towards right and left, and then right, then he will go up. Then at age of 9.5 months or 10 months, he will directly look over where the sound is coming from. Assessment of vision can be done for the newborns, following the red ring through 45. For the 4 weeks, follow the red ring through 90 degree. For the 3 months, follow the red ring through 180. For 4 months, follow the red ring through 360. 3 to 5 months, hand regard. For 5 months, excitement to see food being prepared. Test for the cognitive and the adaptive milestones, that will be like object permanence, causality, limitations, then color and shape recognitions, language mainly receptive, and fine motor. These things can be done for the cognitive and adaptive milestones. So the screening, lastly we can see that screening, it is a brief, formal, standardized evaluation aid. Aid means a helping tool which in the early identification of the patient with developmental behavioral delay. So the different type of screenings can be informal screening, the routine formal screening, and focused screening. More important in high risk infants. Surveillance means a survey based. So what surveys can be done? 5 components can be checked out by documenting, by maintaining a developmental history, making accurate observations of the child, identify the risk and the protective factors, maintaining the accurate record of the surveillance process and findings. There are few specific screening tools which are present, that is neuromotor, that is INFANIP, autism, for autism it is CARS, that is childhood autism rating scale, and also can be modified checklist for autism in toddlers, that is MCHAT, preschool skill, behavioral problems, early childhood inventories, child and adolescent symptoms, then ADHD or Conners rating scale. this we have completed the basic topic of developmental screening, and if you have any doubts you can just ask the questions in the chat box, or else we can make another discussion or another video related to the topic.